One name has electrified the world of women's sports and sent shockwaves through the business world: Caitlin Clark. In an arena historically dominated by tennis icons, global soccer stars, and elite individual athletes, few could have predicted that a rookie WNBA guard would not only emerge but dominate financially, rewriting the rules of what female athlete in a team sport can achieve. When released its 2025 rankings of the highest-paid female athletes, Clark didn't just appear, she shattered expectations, leaping to become the highest-paid WNBA player ever and the only team sport athlete worldwide to break into the global top 15. Her staggering $16 million earnings signaled seismic shift. Team sport athletes could now compete with the global elite in financial and cultural impact, challenging long-held assumptions about women's sports economics. Clark's rise is monumental, not simply because of the figures attached to her name, but because of what those figures represent. For decades, the highest-earning women in sports came from tennis, golf, and soccer sports, where athletes controlled schedules, tournaments, and personal branding with far more autonomy than players in team leagues. Clark disrupted that paradigm, proving that a player within a league governed by salary caps and collective bargaining could achieve financial supremacy through marketability, media presence, and audience engagement alone. Her WNBA salary of $119,000 is dwarfed by her $15.8 million in endorsements. Yet that imbalance tells a story of market power. Clark has created demand that transcends league structure, showing that influence, visibility, and branding can rival championships in defining modern athletic success. The magnitude of her achievement reverberates far beyond basketball.
Was down somewhere below 10 million bucks. All right. In fact, they do tell us who is number 2 among sports-related, like actual team-oriented female athletes. Number 2 is Sabrina Ionescu.
Clark's presence has redefined the narrative of what women in team sports can accomplish financially, culturally, and commercially. She has become the blueprint for athletes who understand that success is multidimensional. Performance, persona, and market appeal converge to create influence that is measurable, impactful, and sustainable. Each endorsement deal, signature shoe partnership, and corporate collaboration represents more than a paycheck. It is validation that women's sports are economically viable, globally visible, and culturally resonant. Nike's landmark signature shoe deal launching in 2026, alongside partnerships with Gatorade, State Farm, Wilson Panini, America, and other leading brands, signals that corporate America is no longer hesitant to invest in female athletes who can generate measurable returns. Clark's influence extends far beyond her own earnings. The visibility she brings has lifted the WNBA as a whole. Television ratings spike during her games. Merchandise sales surge, and social media buzz dominates whenever she plays. Even casual sports fans now follow WNBA matchups more closely, driven by the magnetic pull of her performances. This is a self-reinforcing cycle. Increased attention leads to more sponsorships, which amplifies market influence, which in turn draws greater fan engagement, creating a structural benefit for the league, her teammates, and future stars. In this sense, Clark isn't just an athlete, she is cultural architect, reshaping the way audiences, brands, and media view women's team sports. Her rise also highlights the modern economics of attention. Unlike Angel Reese, Sabrina Ionescu, or Wilson, Clark's market dominance is not solely determined by on-court performance. While Reese has generated viral moments and Ionescu commands respect as a top player, neither has translated that visibility into the same level of financial power. Clark's $16 million earnings, with more than 99% coming from endorsements, demonstrate a crucial truth about today's sports landscape. Cultural resonance, audience engagement, and branding often outweigh statistics and traditional accolades in determining financial reward. Viral fame is fleeting. Measurable consumer influence is enduring. This debate over Clark's earnings underscores a broader tension within modern sports: the balance between individual marketability and structural fairness. In a league where salaries are capped, Clark's extraordinary off-court income highlights the limitations of traditional pay structure, raising difficult questions about how to reward excellence without creating disparity. Critics worry that such concentration of wealth in the hands of one athlete may foster resentment or perceptions of inequality among peers, potentially affecting team dynamics and league cohesion. Yet proponents argue that Clark's success is not a zero-sum game. Rather, it acts as a catalyst for growth. By drawing attention, investment, and sponsorships into the WNBA, she elevates the entire league, creating opportunities that did not previously exist for her teammates, rookies, and future stars. Her rise forces leagues, sponsors, and media companies to confront a new reality. Value in women's sports is increasingly measured by visibility, audience engagement, and cultural resonance rather than purely by statistics or championships. Clark's financial prominence challenges the traditional definitions of meritocracy. showing that influence, storytelling, and brand power are now essential dimensions of athletic success. The conversation her success ignites is not just about dollars, it is about the evolution of opportunity, recognition, and equity in women's professional sports. Clark's achievement is historic, not only within the WNBA but across all women's team sports globally. No female team sport athlete had ever cracked the global top 15 in earnings prior to 22.5. This milestone challenges long-standing assumptions that financial elite status belongs exclusively to individual sport athletes. In leagues like professional soccer, volleyball, hockey, and softball, women athletes often operate under similar structural constraints, salary caps, revenue sharing models, and limited endorsement autonomy. Yet Clark's success proves that market demand and personal branding can overcome systemic limitations. Corporations respond to measurable attention, and Clark's metrics: arena sellouts, merchandise sales, social media virality, and television ratings establish her as a rare and safe investment, a commercial powerhouse. Her journey also underscores the evolving role of storytelling in modern sports. Beyond her scoring titles, assists, or collegiate records, Clark has cultivated a narrative that resonates culturally. College phenom seamlessly transitioning into a professional trailblazer, an athlete whose personality and persona extend beyond the court. Brands covet this story, turning it into commercial capital that fuels endorsements and sponsorships. This duality, athletic excellence paired with narrative appeals, increasingly essential in women's sports, where audience attention is the currency, and Clark has mastered the market. Clark's sixth-place finish on global rankings places her alongside tennis icons like Coco Gauff and Arne Sabalenka, whose earnings are fueled by massive prize money and independent branding opportunities unavailable to most team sport athletes. That Clark achieved comparable recognition from a capped league is unprecedented, a case study in the power of personal brand influence and consumer engagement. In contrast, her WNBA peers, even top talents, earn fraction of her commercial value, highlighting the structural limitations of the league while simultaneously illustrating what is possible when talent meets market opportunity. Her impact is generational. Young athletes now have a tangible example that success in team sports can rival that in individual disciplines. Girls in gyms, high school courts, and community programs no longer see financial ceilings as insurmountable. Clark has shown that athletic excellence, combined with personality, visibility, and branding acumen, can produce global icons with financial clout, previously thought impossible in team sports. This represents a shift in cultural perception, proving that women's basketball and, by extension, women's sports can be commercially and socially significant. Clark's market influence also drives structural growth within the WNBA. Higher merchandise sales, increased TV ratings, and corporate investment give the league more resources to innovate, expand, and reach global audiences. This feedback loop benefits not just Clark, but all players. Her individual brilliance sparks collective opportunity, encouraging teams, sponsors, and networks to invest in women's basketball at unprecedented levels. She has become the catalyst for league-wide elevation, proving that one athlete can reshape an entire sports ecosystem. Controversy, however, is inevitable. The WNBA's salary system remains capped, meaning Clark's extraordinary earnings exist almost entirely off-court. This exposes the economic imbalance within team sports. On-court skill is necessary, but insufficient for elite financial reward. The disparity raises questions about fairness, income distribution, and how leagues can ensure opportunities for all players while still rewarding marketable stars. Clark's case is now a blueprint for navigating this complex balance, demonstrating that visibility, branding, and cultural resonance are as critical as scoring averages and titles. Clark's story is also reshaping global perceptions of women's team sports. International leagues now face a precedent. Earning ceilings can be broken if an athlete successfully aligns market demand with personal branding. Professional soccer, volleyball, hockey, and softball leagues worldwide can study Clark's trajectory as proof that audience enthusiasm and sponsorship interest can create financial pathways once thought closed. For the next generation of athletes, her rise validates that global recognition, financial success, and cultural influence are attainable in team sports, not just individual disciplines. Her endorsement portfolio illustrates the scope of her market power. Beyond Nike, deals with Gatorade, State Farm, Wilson, Panini, America, and other major brands demonstrate measurable commercial impact. Every sneaker sold, every ad featuring her, every social media post mentioning her converts into revenue and brand visibility. Clark is not a passive athlete. She is an active architect of her brand, leveraging influence, narrative, and performance into tangible results. Her cross-platform appeal ensures she reaches traditional basketball audiences, youth markets, and mainstream consumers simultaneously, a rare and highly valuable combination, even against peers with comparable athletic talent. Clark's market dominance is unmatched. Angel Reese, despite viral moments and cultural visibility, fails to convert attention into the same commercial success, falling outside the top 50 of rankings. Sabrina Ionescu, the league's second highest paid player, earned $10 million, $6 million below Clark MVP Wilson, widely regarded as a dominant on-court force, did not enter the top 50 at all. This underscores a fundamental shift in sports economics. Financial opportunity increasingly follows market influence, not simply talent or accolades. For decades, top financial ranks in women's sports were considered the exclusive domain of tennis, golf, and certain global soccer stars. Team sport athletes were constrained, both structurally and perceptually. Clark shattered that myth, proving that visibility, branding, and marketability can transcend structural limits, and that women's basketball can produce global commercial icons. The ripple effects extend to league structure and investment. Sponsors are now incentivized to enter the WNBA marketplace because of Clark's influence, expanding opportunities for other players. Television networks, merchandise partners, and international media are compelled to increase coverage, creating long-term economic growth for the league. Clark's $16 million is more than personal wealth. It is proof of concept for the commercial viability of women's team sports globally. Her narrative-driven APPEAL adds further value. Beyond statistics, Clark's story college phenom to professional trailblazer provides a marketing framework that resonates with audiences and brands alike. Sponsors covet athletes who can engage emotionally while delivering measurable results, and Clark delivers both consistently. This combination of performance, persona, and storytelling creates a durable commercial platform that is rare in any sport, let alone in women's team leagues constrained by salary caps. Clark's rise is suspenseful, controversial, and deeply inspirational. Suspense arises from comparisons to peers, controversy from the disparity her earnings create, and inspiration from the barriers she has shattered. Her achievements illustrate that financial success in women's sports is no longer solely defined by prize money or championships. It is driven by cultural influence, visibility, and marketability. Ultimately, Caitlin Clark has redefined possibility and expectation. She stands as a generational icon whose influence stretches beyond basketball statistics into culture, business, and societal perception. Her $16 million, dominated by endorsements, sets a new benchmark where visibility and market appeal rival championships. Clark's journey proves that women's team sport athletes can command global attention and financial recognition once thought unattainable. She didn't just break records on the court, she broke barriers off it, carving a path for future athletes to follow, ensuring that the next global sports icon can come from any team, any league, and any court. And that court can be the WNBA. Clark's influence extends far beyond her own personal achievements. It has become a catalyst for systemic change within women's sports. Her rise demonstrates that financial success, marketability, and cultural influence are not mutually exclusive. They are intertwined forces that, when aligned, can reshape an entire industry. Young athletes now have a concrete example that reaching the top of the financial and cultural ladder is possible, even within team-based sports that historically offered limited commercial visibility. No longer is success defined solely by championships, scoring titles, or individual accolades. Clark has proven that influence, engagement, and brand presence can be just as consequential in shaping an athlete's legacy. This blueprint challenges entrenched narratives that have long constrained women in sports. For decades, elite earnings and global recognition were perceived as privileges reserved for those in individual sports such as tennis or golf, where prize money and sponsorship freedom provided clear pathways to financial prominence. Clark's journey disrupts that notion entirely. By leveraging her personality, narrative, and social appeal, she has transformed audience attention into tangible economic impact, proving that the team sport athlete can not only compete commercially but dominate. This represents a cultural shift as much as a financial one. Media outlets and fans alike are recognizing that women's basketball, and team sports more broadly, are capable of producing marketable superstars with global resonance. Clark's impact also reverberates through league structures. While the WNBA maintains strict salary caps, Clark's off-court earnings highlight a new paradigm. The financial ceiling in women's sports is no longer fixed by league restrictions but can be elevated through market-driven strategies. Her success incentivizes sponsors, networks, and investors to view the WNBA as a platform for measurable commercial returns, thereby creating opportunities for her teammates and future stars. Every deal she secures, every marketing campaign she headlines, expands the possibilities for the league as a whole. In this sense, Clark's achievements are not only personal victories, they are a form of institutional empowerment, raising the bar for women's sports globally. The narrative surrounding Clark also reshapes how society values female athletes. Her story emphasizes multidimensional excellence, skill, personality, and marketability combined. In doing so, she challenges outdated assumptions that women's athletic success is limited to performance on the scoreboard. Clark proves that athletes can simultaneously excel on the court and in the cultural arena, commanding attention, respect, and financial reward. Her influence extends to aspiring athletes worldwide, particularly girls who now see that their talent, when paired with visibility and strategic branding, can translate into economic empowerment and global recognition. Furthermore, Clark's prominence signals a broader transformation in sports marketing. Corporations now recognize the untapped potential of women's team sports, understanding that aligning with an athlete of her caliber drives measurable engagement across demographics. Television networks, digital platforms, and merchandise partners have all responded to her influence, creating a ripple effect that strengthens the league and elevates the entire ecosystem. In essence, Clark has become both a financial and cultural anchor, a figure whose success validates investment in women's sports and reshapes expectations for what is achievable. Ultimately, Caitlin Clark embodies the convergence of talent, ambition, and opportunity. She is more than a player. She is a movement, a living proof that women's team sport athletes can attain the highest levels of financial, cultural, and global impact. Her story is a blueprint for the next generation, a promise that the next global sports icon can emerge from any court, any team, and any league, and that when visibility meets skill, the possibilities are limitless.